Welcome, everybody, to the first ever No-Stalgia Podcast.
Woo!
I'm Talon, and this is...
Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Hello.
So the general premise of this podcast is Adam never grew up playing old Nintendo games, old PlayStation games, what we would call classic games, compared to even maybe some of you in the audience listening, or like myself. And the premise is Adam's going to go and play these classic games on the original console, the original controller, everything like that, original copy of the game, to basically like relive picking up the game the first time it came out. So the first game he's actually playing is Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. Mm-hmm. Adam, you said you never had a Nintendo 64, right?
Yeah, so I guess kind of my gaming background, the things that I grew up on was like PC gaming that I had always in like a computer, always in the house, and then generally I had like a Game Boy Color, but we never owned any consoles until I was like a teenager, and that's when I had like a PS2 and then Xbox. I got into that like later generation of consoles.
Yeah, GameCube.
Yeah. So that's where I kind of kicked in, and even when I got those consoles, I didn't play all the classics of that era because I didn't know what they were. You know?
Yeah.
And it's only now, as I got older, that I kind of want to go back and play all these games that I missed. So doing this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited to check out. But yeah, never had N64. I never had anything Nintendo besides the Game Boy Color, and then like the next console that I got was a Wii. So it was like that big a gap. I missed all those games.
Damn. Yeah, that's a lot of games.
Play. Yeah.
So I think one of the things we want to stress the most is that, like Adam was just saying, he's never played these games, but Super Mario 64 was the first game I actually ever played. It was the game I grew up with as a kid. I'm the youngest of four boys. So the first consoles I remember in my house were a Nintendo 64, a Sega Saturn, and a PlayStation 1. So I did play a lot of quote-unquote classics. All the NES, Super Nintendo stuff I've gotten to myself, being in game design now and all that sort of stuff. That's what I play. But it's super interesting why we want to start this podcast is to get Adam to try these games, because he's also curious about how these plays, but he's also his entire life and his entire gaming life, I guess you could say. Your gaming career. But Super Mario 64 is a very famous game for either good or bad reasons. Mm-hmm. Why it's famous, do you think it deserves all the credits given, and why is it a famous game, and why is it so important maybe to gaming as a whole? Yeah,
and I'll say I've played a couple 3D platforms. My favorite is platformers, and my favorite is Banjo-Kazooie, and that I'm going to make a lot of comparisons to that when I'm talking about this game. Yeah.
I guess the first question, we're going to start off super formal, but probably going to go offhand real quick.
Yeah, I got a lot of notes here.
Yeah. So I guess the first question, Adam, is how did it feel playing Super Mario 64?
I hated it. No.
Super Mario 64 for the first time.
It was good. I liked it. It was interesting because so I have never fucking held are we allowed to swear? Should we say?
Yeah.
Okay, swearing is cool.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Whoa, man. You're crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So I never I've never even held an N64 controller until you put one in my hands. Yeah. And like I realized like the way you should be gripping it, and it seems like the way the game was made to be played is the way, like two hands on the right things, because like even the D-pad wasn't working, or the left thing on any control, so it was like everything was mapped to those two right sides. So like getting to play that was it's funny because afterwards I went to go play, like after I beat this game and I went to play Xbox, I held it like N64 controller for a second. I'm like, oh fuck. I started using the face buttons like camera buttons. It was fucking me up.
Both hands on the A and X.
Exactly. I was like, what the hell am I doing? But yeah, so that was the first time I ever got to grapple with that controller. I did not like it very clearly. It's not a controller for me. I like now.
It's a very odd controller.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I'm happy with now that we have two thumbsticks and we don't have to use buttons for camera control. Yeah, that was killing me the entire game. I have a lot of issues with camera, but we don't have to get into it now. But like so basically I was enjoying the game, like the feel of the game, like running around. I was very impressed. It felt like something I would be playing now, like the Mario's movement and his momentum, because the whole game is like based off of momentum.
It's very momentum.
That's like how you move around in the game, and how you do like all your sweet parkour, your plumber parkour tricks,
your sweet side flips.
Yeah. So like all of that impressed me. And the other thing that was really crazy is you basically have all the abilities that you need like at the start. Like there's like the hat blocks and stuff like that is just for getting extra stars. Like, but like everything you need is just like there for you if you need it. And like the signs will tell you as you progress. But like if you play the game before and you just start up a new game, like you can fucking run around. You can do cool jumps. You can flip your hat around.
Well, that's always been from a game design perspective. That's always been one of Nintendo's strongest points, especially with Mario. They always like teaching mechanics and giving you an opportunity, and it comes with a risk, but an opportunity to master something right away, and if you can, it rewards you as a player. So things like the first couple times you can do a wall jump, or like you need a star to do a wall jump.
I could never do those, by the way.
Yeah.
I fucked those up. There was only like one in the icy place you had to do a wall jump thing, and I was just like, I can't do this.
But like, if you could, if you went further and went past it, there's possibility of getting a 1-up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nintendo does that very well, especially with Super Mario, especially with the 2D platform Marios. Mm-hmm. But I thought Super Mario 64 does that pretty well in some spots. Mm-hmm. With the sliding, there's a lot of the speed stuff, especially like the races, just the long jumps of how much speed you can pick up really fast, or jumping to get somewhere harder to get usually. Yeah. And there's a lot of secret ways to get up places too. Yeah. So I've always found that super interesting. Did you have something to say?
I'm trying to think. The question was like, how did the game feel?
Yeah.
Like my biggest issue with the game was like camera controls and stuff like that. That was like the crux of my entire playthrough. That's what like ended up killing me, because like it's the way I was feeling was like, if this controller had an extra thumbstick on it that was like rotating like free camera and stuff like that, the game would be incredibly easy. Like, yeah. If I could move the thumbstick around and figure out where the fuck Mario's gonna jump, like there would be no problem at all. But since I had to deal with like the
snapping,
buttons, the snapping and the buttons, it made it like 10 times harder, because like it was just impossible to run around and like jump on things, because
it's hard to measure yourself.
It's hard to like control your momentum and the camera at the same time. You know, that was difficult. And when it's like, it's easy to do that with two thumbsticks, but when one is like buttons and like they snap, so you have to be like kind of smart by like changing your camera as you're jumping and stuff like that. And it's just a little bit like more to do.
It's definitely something to get used to.
Yeah.
Especially the controller. And growing up with the N64 controller, I mean, as a kid, it was like weird. But like all I did was play Super Smash and Super Mario and like Ocarina, so I was so used to it. But I know it is not like a perfectly designed controller. At the same time, being really like the first 3D platformer, of course, camera is going to be an issue. Yeah, because it is. I wouldn't call it a free camera, but it is still snapping behind you. But there's times where when you're doing that, it like goes through a wall and like you can see through the wall,
or you try to snap the camera and it just refuses to move anymore.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I need to see. I need to see what the fuck I'm doing.
So of course it's not perfect, but it was the first trial run.
Yeah, that's like something that comes back to me in a lot of my notes whenever I have a problem. It's just like, yeah, this is an issue, but then it was also the first, which I understand. But I like kind of what you said before. You grew up on learning like buttons for camera.
I grew up with it.
Yeah. For me, it was just like I grew up with thumbstick for camera.
Analog,
yeah. So then, like going back to me, it's like it's just a huge issue that I have to deal. It's like now I have to kind of like unlearn, and then like it almost feels archaic in a way that I don't enjoy.
It definitely is.
Yeah. It's just like fucking why I can't. That's why it's like if this was. Here's my first Banjo-Kazooie comparison, because I played the remastered, not the remastered, like the Xbox 360. Yeah, I guess it was like
it's like a port.
Yeah, like an HD port of the N64 version. I played the Banjo-Kazooie one on Xbox, and I loved that game so much. And I went back to playing it after I beat Super Mario 64, and I realized like the camera is like totally freeform.
Yeah.
You use the thumbstick with that, and you can like control it, which is like good. And a lot of the like puzzles in Banjo aren't like, jumping based and stuff like that. It's more like like puzzles within the environment instead of like kind of like doing platforming jumps and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But that like I was thinking back, if I had played Banjo-Kazooie for the first time with the N64 controls, I probably would have hated it. Like I think I would have I've been like, I give up on this game. It's too annoying to control and stuff like that. Yeah. Also, with Banjo-Kazooie, I noticed like the movement in Banjo-Kazooie is like way different from Mario, where like you have a lot more control in Banjo-Kazooie than you do in Mario, because like just movement's different, because Mario is based on momentum and Banjo-Kazooie is just like if you move and you stop pressing the button, he immediately stops. But Mario slides.
Mario has momentum.
Yeah.
And he's always had momentum.
Yeah.
In all the games.
He's a slippery little plumber.
Yeah, it's all that poop on his shoes.
Yeah. But yeah. So like cameras were like a big issue. Let's see what I wrote camera was awful. But also, yeah, okay, so then I said camera was awful, but then like it became a feature of gameplay because like I said, if you removed the issues with the camera, you'd remove the challenge of the game. Like it would not be as fun because you could easily like the platforms and the jumps that you need to make in Mario aren't hard. Like to me, the issues were controlling the camera for those jumps, you know, because it was two things you had to do. Yeah. It was like momentum and then camera.
They probably based a lot of I don't know how they built the levels. They probably based a lot of it on like your camera's really only going to be in 4 positions.
That's what it felt. That's what it felt like.
Or behind the back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever did it and I don't know if people in the audience have played a lot of Super Mario or remembered a lot about 64, but you can snap the camera behind your back.
You can.
And at some points it's actually really helpful. But
I did do that when I was like going off of small spaces, you know, or like going off planks.
But it is very odd.
It's weird. It's weird. It's like
it feels like a Resident Evil game.
Yeah, he's like in the center of the screen. It's really weird.
But you're like platforming.
Yeah. And sometimes I would be fucking jumping, and then my finger would hit the R button, and then he would zoom in, and then he'd jump into a wall. Oh no! And then he falls down and be like, Mario, why? I hated it. But yeah. But it was like, yeah. Like if I had played a remastered version of this game with an extra thumbstick, I probably would have gotten all the stars and like totally gone through it. But at the moment, like I don't want to go back to it because I don't want to wrestle with the fucking
next episode is Odyssey. Let's go.
Yeehaw.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Odyssey is basically Super Mario 64 HD.
That's good.
So I guess the next thing to go to a more positive route. What was your favorite part playing the game the first time? So whether it be a level or you said you liked the sliding mechanics a little bit, or the momentum based.
Yeah, I found that interesting.
Like even if your favorite level or whatever, go for it.
I'm trying to think of
moment really or something.
Yeah, I had a couple of those written down. I'm trying to think if there's anything besides the 2 that I wrote. I guess like the 2 things that I thought were really cool. One was like, because we had a strict rule when I was playing this, was not to look up anything. This is
good to mention, yes.
Yeah, I was not allowed to look up anything online to solve any puzzles or figure anything out.
Yeah, so the only information he was allowed was to ask other people who played the game.
Yeah.
We tried to keep it kind of like old school, where like maybe you didn't have access to the internet or to like game guides or YouTube videos. So I was like, if you have a question, obviously texting is, you know, a little far in the future, but still,
it was like I was biking over to your house, and I was knocking on your door and saying, "Hey, I can't beat this."
But in 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. We're just that good. It was the tin cans with the string.
With the string.
Yeah, I was throwing it over to your window. But yeah, the one really cool moment I had at Player Discovery was like figuring out the booze haunt level.
Yeah,
that was like the coolest thing.
Yeah,
because like
that's
ran
one of my
into
favorite
the back.
levels.
Yeah, because you see like the boo in the basement, and then you chase them out into the garden, and there's a bunch of them. And then like as you were walking around them, I noticed one of them had like a weird thing in its body, and it's just like, oh, what the fuck's this? So I kept trying to jump onto him, and then that was hard because I kept doing like the slide jumps and missing him. But then I finally got him, and then like the
ground pound him.
Yeah, it was like it looked like a bird cage. Is that the mansion that came out of him?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the mansion of the bird cage basically.
Because then you like shrink down and you go into it, and then it transports you to the new level, which is really cool because I like that level because it feels like the most. It looks like they made a new, like it felt like all new assets for that level. You know?
Definitely.
It wasn't because like most levels you play in the game, it feels like they're borrowing from different things. You know, it's like, oh, we're gonna reuse things in the mountain level from like the first Bomb level or whatever. Mm-hmm. Is it called Bomb?
Bomb Valley or whatever it was?
Yeah. But that level in particular was really cool because they had like things you wouldn't find. It seemed like anywhere else, like that
fucking piano, man.
The piano was there, which I knew about already.
Yeah.
but
like, that's one of those famous things. Like, probably like imagine like I was 6 the first. Like
it's loud. It's
loud.
4. It's really loud.
Like, and I was like just walking around, I was like boom, boom. We're like no.
Yeah. But even like in the other levels, the rooms, they had like the flying chairs that would run at you, or like the books with like mouths and stuff, and that was all really cool. And then it had like the carousel at the bottom with like all the water.
Yeah.
I thought it was like
the giant boo.
I heard the music and I thought it was like a Pirates of the Caribbean something. Yeah, I was like, what the hell's going on here? It was cool though. But that was a really cool. That was like my favorite level, I think, just because I didn't even get all the stars in that level. That was my favorite level, like aesthetically. I think
definitely.
Like my favorite level playing actually was like like the genre of levels, and those were all the water levels. Those were my favorite.
Really?
The water levels were like 100% my favorite.
Damn.
Those were like I loved playing those, and I was thinking about like why, because everyone has fucking problems with these water levels.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like, why the hell do I like it so much? And I think it was because those are the levels where you have like ultimate control over Mario. He does not slide when he's in water.
Yeah.
You have to like shows where he goes.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that's why I like it. It's because like I could take things on my own and like move Mario where I wanted to, or like. Every other level, I was sliding into death, you know. But I couldn't do that now. And if I ever needed, yeah, exactly. Down. And then also, if you need fucking like coin, or if you need health, you just swim up to the top, which felt a little cheap, even for me, because like you can go into like the desert level, and like you can get like you can jump into a pond, and then you have like full health. You know, it's just like I don't know if that's like right, but those water levels were like my favorite. I think because it also had like my favorite music. I think the music of that was really
a lot of the music in the water levels are great.
Yeah,
especially I forgot all the names of the level. The cave, the underwater cave. That is like
the Jolly Roger Bay or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I think there's only two, like Dire Docks and
it's Dire Docks and I think Jolly Roger. Yeah, those levels are great.
That's like was my favorite to play because I felt like I had the most control in them. Also, I also like the way they look. Like they sounded cool, and then I like how in the Jolly Roger Bay one it was like it's all like misty and foggy in the beginning, and then like once the ship comes up, then like the fog is away, and then you can see like the entirety of the cove and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah.
Some of my other favorite moments was the second time you fight Bowser. Because the first time you fight him on that platform, you throw him to the bombs. Yeah. And then the second time, you go onto the platform, but then it's like in a fiery place. Yeah. And it's a small moment, but I like when Bowser drops onto the pad, it tilts the whole thing. Yeah. And the camera zooms all the way out, and Mario's like, "Whoa!" And he's going down. That was like whoa, this is really cool. Yeah. And then like you had to like try to jump and like mess with the momentum. It almost got to the point where like I didn't want to kill him too much because I thought that part was cool, and I like doing that. But yeah, those are the parts that I really like. I'm trying to think of other things. Like soundtrack wise, all the
slides.
Yeah, all the beats were good. I like the ways because I hadn't actually heard all the songs. So the fire level and the Egypt level had that like kind of Arabian like remix of Mario songs, which were good. And also the cave one had a really good song. Yeah. My other favorite song was it's like the challenge run you have to do before you beat Bowser. Where it's like that one's really cool. And Bowser's theme is the best song. You can play it right here. That one is like really cool. It's like what I hummed to myself. It was humming before we even started this podcast. Yeah. It's so fucking good. But yeah, those are like I think my favorite moments I can think of.
Okay, so following that, what were your least favorite levels, moments?
I have it written down here.
Okay.
I wrote
a lot larger.
Egypt level is the Anne Orlando of Super Mario 64. Seriously, fuck that Egypt level. It was the hardest level I'd ever gone. I was at the end of the game trying to collect stars, and I was like, I just gotta, like, the Egypt level was pissing me off so much that I want to try to collect as many as I could on that. It took me about, like, 3 hours to get, like, 2 stars on that fucking level. That level is so annoying. I hate it so much. Because you should be able to jump out of that quicksand that's around the temple. It's like an immediate death.
It's instant death.
It's instant death. Yeah. So you have to do your whole fucking run around. If you don't have the hat, which I didn't because I was dumb, I had to like run around the whole thing to get to the entrance of the pyramid. And I'm not even trying to climb into it. I'm trying to get to the top of it because that's where a star is. And then you have to like, and the sides of the pyramid are slippery. So like you have to jump on them at certain angles, you know, to get up, and you have to go around the whole thing. But then there's like things that catch you on fire, and if you catch on fire, Mario's gonna run into the slant, and then if he hits the slant, he's gonna slide on the slant, past the part that you can actually stand on, back onto the slant, and then into the sand. That happened so many fucking times, and it all felt like luck doing that until I unlocked the fucking hat, and then I just flew in there because I'm like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to do this. I think like they just did it. They put this like as a joke. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I don't know if you knew this. You know those red pyre looking.
Things outside that floor around?
You can walk up them.
What?
Yeah.
How?
You just walk up them. So in the same way you do it in the Bowser levels, where there's those really steep walls you can just run up.
Oh.
Those you're meant to just literally run up them. So that's why that bird is flying around the star.
So you know what I did for that bird? I put my hat on and then I missed the landing like 14 different times where I try to like go over there and ground pound and I would miss the ground pound, or I would ground pound, jump, get the star, and then when it would go transport somewhere else, as I was in the air, it would remember my momentum and I'd fall into the quicksand. That happened like so many times and I was so pissed.
Yeah,
I did not know you could walk up them.
Yeah, the red...
There's a sign that says something about the pillars and how there's like a secret to the pillars. And I thought you were supposed to ground pound them. No. That's why I was like going around them and stuff like that.
No, the pillars, you can literally just walk up them to the top, and that's why the bird flies over them for that star. Mm-hmm. But the pillar, because you start and there's like a sand dune.
Yeah.
The pillar right behind the sand dune, if you run up it, you can long jump to the pyramid. No problem. Should have asked. Yeah, yeah. Should have asked.
Yeah, that level
but that's just like I probably read it and then also just playing it for years. And
I like the inside of the pyramid. That was cool, but like that quicksand was like the bane of my existence for so long. And also that level comes at like the middle of the game. That's what I was saying. It's like it's the Anor Londo. Yeah. Like it just shows up and it's like the hardest thing I ever had to deal with. Yeah. And then like I was like fucking this really. And then like after that I did like the fire level and then 100%ed it. Yeah. I'm like this is nothing compared to the other one. It's like man,
that's funny.
That was fucking tough. What else did I not like? So much. No, I'm kidding. I guess some things that like. I wrote game felt barren but understandable since it was like the first 3D platform where you can't do much. But every time you kind of like walked into them, like the levels, a lot of the levels looked like child's building blocks, like you were jumping on and stuff, and stuff like that. Definitely. It was just like a red brick that you would stand in and it would fly, you know, or something like that. And it was just like, well, this stuff doesn't like. I know they couldn't do what they wanted to do, but you know, so it felt a little barren. But like, what are you fucking gonna do?
Yeah.
I wrote here, Mario is a bar of soap trying to traverse a world of butter. Fuck this slippery plumber. I hated that. I really hated he was, all my deaths were camera related or movement related, you know? Like I never lost like a life through just like getting hit by an enemy,
taking damage,
you know? Yeah. It was always me losing all like my health by falling off the cliff or something. That was like the most annoying, like the momentum's cool because you can do so much with it, but my pea-brain skull just couldn't comprehend the mechanics, and I didn't have enough time to learn them where I was getting fucked around and I couldn't control. Because if you know the mechanics and you're good with the momentum, you can like make that game your bitch.
Oh,
but, like,
yeah. Like,
if you like the speedruns, you've seen the
speedruns where people beat the game in 20 seconds flat.
But like if you're dumb like me and you have to try to learn everything, and it's just like it's difficult to control Mario.
To be fair, also, like you said, it was your first time using an N64 controller.
Yeah, that's
so that's a whole nother, beast.
The axis of the thumbstick is like it's not fully round, right?
No,
it goes in like points.
It's like
right?
an octagon.
Yeah, which is also fucked me up.
Yeah. Even on the controller itself, you can tell it has like angles.
There's like on the Womp's Fortress level, there's a point where you have to run over a collapsing bridge and then over a really thin plank.
Yeah.
That was like impossible. Like, I looked at, because when you do it, like that's hard enough, but when you do it, the camera moves as you go,
and you're like, oh god.
So it's just like you have to move the thumbstick as you're running, and Mario has like butter on his feet, so like if you take the one wrong slip, yahoo, he goes off and then slides down, and then it's just like, oh, I didn't know they put a hole here to kill me. And it's just like, god damn it, Mario. Why do you have to keep doing this?
That's funny.
What else? I really hated that Egypt level. Yeah, I said camera changes during movement equals death. That's what happened a lot. I would have been fine if they let me change the camera as things were happening, you know? Up. Like if they didn't mess with the camera at all and it was on me, I wouldn't mind it. But I didn't like how they were like, we're gonna change the camera here for you as you're moving. It's just like, don't do that, because like that's gonna mess me up too much. Yeah. You know? One thing I got annoyed with was so when I was trying to find those hat switches for the longest time. I was complaining and whining to you.
Yeah.
I wanted to find those hat switches because I found one. It was the Vanish one, but like
that's usually the first one I find.
That's the one you like least use. It felt like in the game.
Oh, definitely.
I only used it like twice in the game.
Yeah.
Like the ones that kept showing up were the metal one and the flying one.
And the flying cap. Yeah.
So like, in the sign, the sign says, pull up the picture of the sign. I'm pretty sure. Like the sign lied to me. It said you would find them in secret courses. and the secret courses were described as being hidden within the castle. But then I learned the secret courses are actually hidden, can also be hidden within levels. So for the longest time at the beginning of that game, because I wanted to find the switches, I would just I'd throw Mario into walls. He'd be humping like the entire castle, looking for a secret door or something, so I can find the switch because I kept running into issues where it would talk about a star that was in the air or something like that. And it's just like, and it was on the earlier, and I have like a kind of a completionist desire,
Yes.
So like whenever I start off with like the first level and I don't get all the stars, it's like, it kind of nags at me. It's like, God, I just want to fucking do this so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I was trying to find those switches for the longest time. And then like, I didn't look it up, but I asked my girlfriend and she looked it up. So I didn't really look it up. And she was like, it's in the cave level. And I was like, the cave level? That's not... Is it near the cave level? It's like, no, it's inside the cave level. You have to jump on that fucking... The sea monster.
Dory?
Is that what it's called?
Or I forgot what her name is, but yeah.
Yeah. How does that... What's even the gimmick there? Because you jump on its back and then you have to like do
ground pound.
What?
You like ground pound?
Do you ground pound its body and then it goes lower so you can jump on its head? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think you ground pound its back and it brings its head down. And you jump on the head and it slowly raises it back up.
I was doing like 50 backflips trying to
get up to
the head. Yeah, I did not know you can do that. And then when you get out the head, it just spins around in circles for a minute and then it goes.
And then
to
eventually, I think you're supposed to like long jump to it.
Okay. Yeah. And then that's how you get to the metal thing.
Yeah, and it's standing in the middle of a lake, basically, right? And then you can jump down.
You have to go through a jump big thing, and then you have to get your metal switch, and it's like, yay, okay. And I'm like, ugh.
And then you asked me about the wing cap.
I knew where the wing cap was. I just didn't know how
to get to it.
Yeah, because I always knew about like the sun area. Yeah. And then like there was like a light shining down. It's like, it's obviously here.
Yeah.
But I couldn't jump up to it, and I tried ground pounding it. And then you were like, what'd you say?
I said, what do your parents always tell you not to do?
I'm like, I don't know how to jerk off in this
game. I don't know how to jerk off in
I'm just kidding.
And I was like, stare at the sun. And you're like, what? I was like, stare at the sun. And you're like, okay. And you're like, God fucking damn it.
Well, it was like, also, I didn't even...
You're like, I would have never thought of that.
I thought I knew there was a free camera, but like... Because I did try to move the camera around to look up to see if I was like trying to jump onto an object to get in there. But I couldn't like look up there, and I was confused. I'm like, the camera controls won't let me look up. Even if I press it, it'll say, And then I went into like the Mario behind his back, but I couldn't control the camera. I didn't realize you have to press the R button to go behind Mario's back. And I think you have to press the up directional button, and that's free camera mode.
Yeah, it's like a first person.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah, that was very strange. But then like that's how you do it. And I can't think of like a moment in the game where you need to use that for anything else. It was just like for looking at things, and then that's how you do it to do that. So like, sure, yeah, that's how you do it. It annoyed me.
Yeah.
It was like, whatever, fine. You got me, game. You got me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that like really grinded my gears.
So what impact do you think Super Mario 64 made on either yourself or gaming as a whole, or just like kind of like the cultural significance in gaming that Mario 64 brings?
It changed my life.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Really.
It's like
because some people consider it some people in nostalgia consider it one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
Or you hear that a lot.
Yeah.
It's like Ocarina.
Yeah.
And a lot of critics say it's not.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a bad game at all. I think it's a lot of fun. I even asked you, like, did you have fun? And you're like,
yeah, absolutely.
It was fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
But I think it brought a lot of cultural significance to gaming as a whole, especially through the N64 and Mario's 3D, and it led to Ocarina, and it led to Banjo. Like, what do you think? I mean, like, definitely anyone who had an N64 had this game, right?
Mm-hmm. If you're ever going to a person's house, and they would have this game.
Yeah.
Because I knew about that too. Even though I never got to play.
It was the game for N64.
It was like the game you would own.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was interesting to play because I haven't played many 3D platformers, but like Banjo-Kazooie is the second comparison. It was interesting to see everything. It ripped everything off of Banjo-Kazooie. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie ripped everything off from Super Mario 64 like to a T. Like the Dire Docks is Rusty Bucket Bay. The Boost Haunt is the Mad Monster Mansion. And like I feel like every 3D platformer has those levels from Super Mario 64 now. Like a scary level, a water level, like a dock level for some reason. Like, you know, not forest, but like, you know, a green level, a fire level, desert level, ice level, things like that. So that was interesting to see, even to the point where like there's a ice level in Mario that's a big snowman. Same with Banjo-Kazooie, you know. It was just like they just took everything from that game and did it better, says Adam. Yeah, like you can't like not see the influence that this game had on like every 3D platformer ever. And also like just like it was as much problems that I did with the camera. It was like the start of something. It felt like, you know, like things would certainly graduate from what it was at the moment, like, you know, at that moment with the camera. But
it was the first step.
Yeah, exactly. It was the first step that needed to happen, you know. And I think it like even like describing it as like, oh, this is like the first to do a lot of things, so like it kind of has a lot of trouble. I'm also like really impressed by like what they were able to do, like fit 15 levels in there and like all the secrets within the castle and stuff like that, you know. It just felt like they were trying to do, it definitely felt like they wrote a game design document. They want to do all these things and they were just like, fuck, we can't do this now, but like we're gonna do our best to kind of make it that way. You know, the movement felt like something out of something that would come out now, you know. I was impressed by like Mario's movement and like the challenges and stuff like that he had to do in the video game. Some of the stuff almost felt like kind of like what I talked. Some of the worlds felt like placeholder-ish. Yeah. In a sense, the wet and dry level or something.
A wet and dry land, or whatever it's called. I think like, that's what it's called.
That's just like cement and like a
like
water.
Puddles,
Cement, water, and like a chain link fence, you know. And it felt like it would be really cool if Nintendo was able to do like a HD remaster of this entire game, like actually remaster it, because like playing levels like that felt like they wanted to actually do something with the environment, but just couldn't, you know.
Like technically weren't able to.
Yeah. And also, like, you know, they probably didn't want it to look like a chain link fence in a cement land, you know. They probably wanted to try to make it, like, have it every level. Because some levels had a lot of personality. Like the snow level and the fire level, you know. Like, those had a lot of personality. But, like, the wet and dry land, it was just like...
It's concrete slabs.
Yeah. But I did like that level.
Rises,
I did like that level a lot.
And some of them pull off some really interesting things. Like, I mean, rising and lowering water isn't the most unique mechanic, but it worked.
It's cool. Yeah, I liked it.
But fuck those little flingy guys.
Yeah, I actually did not have a problem with those.
Really?
I just ran around them all the time.
Yeah.
I never, I would say, I never tried to fight an enemy in this game. I would always run away from it.
It's never just like jump on a Goomba head?
Because like I can't control Mark. Because like the thing would be, I would be moving and I want to hit something and he would do the jump attack, whatever. Instead of, because like you'd have to stop him to punch. You know? So that would mess me up. But like, going back to like the effects of the game, I think like, yeah, there's no doubt that this game had affected like every platformer, almost every like 3D oriented game that was going to come out like after this. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm losing my train of thought here.
That's what this is for.
But yeah, it was really cool, and I'm glad I played. I'm glad it felt like I was playing a piece of history, you know. Yeah. Going through it. That's what I enjoyed. So even though I had problems with it, it was just like it's really cool that I get to play this game like how it was originally made, you know. Yeah. That was fun.
And then, you know, that's something I really want to do. Not only just so like you can experience it, but as someone who loves sharing games with people and like people who have never experienced like older games or stuff like that, or just a new game. As like one of my best friends, it's just like, yeah, he fucking played the game that like he never played before, but it was like the first game I ever like really beat or played, and it was like super cool to be like, and super funny when you're like, this part fucking sucks. I'm like, yeah, it does. It's funny as shit, isn't it? And like I grew up with it.
That's a fun thing that I'm excited to have going through like all these Nintendo games or like other games that I miss with you is like I finally get to join in the conversation about things that like were annoying or like were really cool about these games. Like I finally know that feeling of getting scared by like the piano or whatever, or like having troubles in the. I don't know if anyone else had a problem with that. Each of level is really fucking hard. I had to look online if I'm crazy or something. But like like that part's cool. Like I felt that a lot when I was playing like when I went through Silent Hill and Resident Evil again. It's just like I remember them talking about this game on like fucking X-Play, and like talking about moments. Like, I couldn't remember anything from Resident Evil 4, but, like, when I'm playing it, it's just like, yeah, I kind of, like, remember people talking about this stuff, and, like, now I get to experience this moment, and I'm like, oh, like, that's cool, I'm glad I could share in that conversation.
Yeah, and the thing is, and we won't only be doing Nintendo games.
No.
It's just gonna, and I'll say this at the end again, but please feel free to leave suggestions for us for games to play, and if I don't already own the game, I'll buy it and make Adam play it.
Yeah. I have some other points I could talk about.
Yeah, go for it if you got some stuff.
Peach talks in this, right?
Peach talks in the first and last part of the game.
When you only see her, really.
When you see her, yeah.
I did not know that.
Really?
That was jarring to me. Every time I saw this game and I saw like pictures of the letter that Peach sends, I did not know that Peach talked.
There's dialogue,
yeah. It was like the only dialogue within the game, and it threw me off. It was like that was like the first moment where I'm like, ooh, this is new to me. Like, I can't believe it. Peach talks, what the fuck?
I get cake?
I know. Also, the game ends with a the end, and like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to turn, I looked online, I'm like, am I good? It's like, no, you turn off the system. But like, does it, so if I turn on the system right now, would it be right before I fought Bowser?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So you could never, no, because you can't get all stars.
You can get all the stars.
Yeah, because you can get the stars in that course in them.
Yeah. It should, at least. That's what if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
We can try it. It's right there.
Something talking about the challenge of this game.
Yeah, go for it.
I found that this game was really fun when I had an audience with me. Someone watching me play this game.
Mm-hmm.
That was like when I had the most fun out of the game. Because it felt like it goes back to when I was thinking about playing like Resident Evil. The first time I played the original Resident Evil was on the Vita. I played like the PS1 version of it, and that game tore me to bits. It frustrated me. I hated it. I was like, God, this is the worst thing ever. And then I played the remaster on the PS4 with my brother watching me, and now that's my favorite game. Like, that's not my favorite game, but it's my favorite Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
In the entire series, because it's like playing that with someone to share the frustrations. Yeah. It's like you're going through it together.
Oh yeah.
And then it makes it like so much more enjoyable.
But it's also just like, oh, you missed this. You're like, what? And then and there's the little things like, oh, you should try it this way. And you're like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And especially growing up, I used to play with the brother right above me. My brother Kyle. We used to play Super Mario 64. And I used to watch my brothers play Resident Evil and Silent Hill. And, there'd be like 15 kids, huddled around behind the couch playing Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Or like, Resident Evil 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that was back, oh God, that was a while ago. Mm-hmm. But that's like, and that's kind of like the idea of when we made this and, when we make Checkpoint is just like, we're just fucking playing games. Like, that's like all we like doing, and it's more fun with friends.
Yeah.
And like, I remember one time you were playing Resident Evil 4 and I like watched you for like 3 hours, and like I've beaten Resident Evil 4 so many goddamn times, like over 20 or 30 times, and I was like, it was just fun watching you, and you're like, oh, what did I do? And I was like, oh dude, you should try this. And you're like, what? And I was like, but I totally understand the Super Mario, like, because it's so fun to watch too. Yeah,
I think like the added enjoyment comes from like, I don't know if it's a lot of fun if you're in the room watching someone play like an easy game, but like watching them play like an old challenging game, it's like a new level
something
of
that
fun.
Frustrates somebody.
Yeah, because like when my girlfriend came over and she was watching me play Super Mario 64, I was trying to do that the penguin slide where you're not allowed to cheat.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I accidentally cheated so many times. Like I wasn't meaning to. I just fell and landed, or like I went through that secret little hole that I didn't know. I was just like, what the hell is this? I'm like, hey, maybe I'm. And then he goes like, no, you cheated. I tried to do that so many times with her, like in the room, and it, like we were laughing so hard because it's just like I was screaming Mario's name because I kept missing the turns. You slippery little bastard! You made of butter, you borrow soap, and like, and then you put him on ice, which is worse. I mean, you didn't know my fears when I started an ice level that says you might slip, and I'm like, you are already slippery. God damn it, Mario! Like doing that stuff was like so much fun because then like Yeah, she would give me tips, and it's like, oh yeah, you know, if you get 100 coins in a level, you get a star. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then like going through like other little challenges, and like we were like, oh, I don't know if you can do this, or like switching the controller on, stuff like that. So like playing with like someone like
in the room.
Yeah, playing with someone in the room, especially like an older challenging game, like adds that level of fun. Because I think when I was playing it alone, I got frustrated, but like sharing frustrations is like funny, you know. And
or if you break it and it's stupid,
yeah,
it's funny. one of the funniest things I remember doing in the snow level where you have to save the baby penguin.
Yeah.
Me and my brother would just grab the penguin and literally just jump off the ledge. just like it's like
yeah.
You just drop it.
Yeah.
And then you go back and there's another one, you give it to your mom, like, oh, we got number 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is the best we can do.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that audience, like the difficulty with an audience was definitely like a plus, I think. I can look at what else I wrote. I said earlier, like, my problems with the camera. If I played this remastered with an extra thumbstick, I think I would have loved it and went through it way more than I did.
Yeah.
Not to say that it wasn't like any worse than the way I played it. It was just for me personally.
Yeah.
What else did I say? I have Mario sound effects written down here. I just really like them.
Yeah.
Let's go. Here we go. The whoa, yeah, whoa. Or I love he goes.
Do?
Yeah, when he jumps and stuff, he's like, wah, yeah, haha. But then, like, if you jump and just like hit a wall, so like, yeah, that happens so many times. I'd be sliding, it's like, here we go. It's just like, oh my god, Mario, are you okay? Yeah. Let's
It's like he's like
and it's not even like funny. It's not like, oh, ow. It's just like,
it's like he got punched in the gut.
Yeah, it does. Sounds like he's slamming his big fat nose into a wall. It's just like, oh my god, Mario, it's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry. You got butter on your feet. Okay, I can't help it. That is like the funniest thing. Also, I was thinking every time he gets the star, he says, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I was thinking of that Game Grumps playthrough where they're playing. So I watched the Game Grumps. I didn't really watch it, so I didn't. All that stuff was new. But I'd like kind of gone through a little bit because I listened to those a lot instead of watching them. And the thing Aaron does, I kept doing where like he gets angrier as he says "go." Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. We scream. That was very funny. Yeah, Mario. What's his name? Charles Martinet or whatever.
Charles Martinet.
Yeah, Martinet. Killing it. Man.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Exploring the castle was a lot of fun too. I like that. Finding out that like you couldn't. Not all worlds were hidden within paintings. You know, that was a cool moment.
The walls. And
yeah. Because when I accidentally went into the desert level, I thought
from chasing the bunny.
Yeah, from chasing the bunny, I jumped in there, and then I was just like.
Well, I like it because if you touch it or get close, it kind of like ripples.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell? And you like go slowly walk in and like you get sucked in, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
so
great.
You can see that a little bit. Yeah, clear, which is really cool. And then...
there's the sun level and there's
the sky, yeah. Like those... Figuring out like where every level was kind of within the environment.
You did the first slide in the castle, right?
Yeah,
I did that. In the glass.
Yeah.
The glass... I can't think of the word.
You had to jump through. Yeah, the stained glass.
The stained glass window of Peach. You jump through.
That was really cool. And then like you can find like
the clock.
Things. Yeah, the clock. And then if you jump at 12, it stops everything.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh, I'll just do that every time. That's what happened. You know, I never went through that level when everything was moving.
It's speaking of in terms of speedrunning, it's apparently it happens a lot where you can soft lock the game there.
How?
Just like, you know, when those, well, I guess you wouldn't know because you stopped the time, but there's blocks that like turn.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you get like caught right in between it, like the game just like, you won't move.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you have to like reset.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
That sucks. Sorry, speedrunners.
Yeah. Way to suck at the game.
Yeah, you should have known. Should have known. Those levels were cool. I'm trying to think.
Some of the gimmicks were pulled off pretty well in those levels, I think.
Yeah.
There's the weird black tar like one you go through.
Yeah, that's the cave one.
That's the cave one.
I didn't spend too much. That level was like huge, and I thought it was cool, but it was just like
it's fun.
It was a little too closed for me. I didn't like having the ceiling over me when I was like playing as Mario. You know.
I get that.
What else? Exploring the castle, as I said, was fun. I thought there would be more exploration outside of the castle. There's a little bit, but
like a little bit of lake.
Yeah,
there's the cannon you can unlock.
And I know, there's that thing that comes. Is it a because you take the cannon and you go up to see Yoshi, right? You get 120 stars.
Yeah.
That's cool. I thought when you had to get 100 coins in levels to get stars, I didn't know that there was more than 100 coins. You know,
yeah.
Which like after
you can get the blue and the red. And
after learning that, I was like, oh, well, actually, I could have probably done that. You know. It kind of made me want to go back and do it, you know?
Yeah.
It awakened something in me. I'm like, no, Adam.
The completionist in you?
Yeah, exactly. Because then it became more like, oh, no, this
is I don't know. I don't remember if we just mentioned this, but Adam didn't, we've been mentioning him. He didn't 100% complete the game. He got 70? That's what you need?
90.
90, sorry, yeah.
No, wait.
So,
I think it's 70.
It
was
70.
70, yeah. He did get
so just the 70 stars to beat the final Bowser, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And save Peach.
Yeah. That's what I did.
And I told him, I was like, you don't have to get 100% if you want to go for it, because I know you like completing, but like I will not blame you because it is your first run with an N64.
If they ever re-release this game,
it's Odyssey,
like HD remaster on the Switch, that is not Odyssey. Like they actually took the original game and redid everything from it. I would probably 100%, like definitely.
Really?
Like that would be a lot of fun to do. If they threw in that with that fucking extra thumbstick, it would be like, yeah, I could do this.
So I guess go through the courses now.
Yeah,
and if you remember which ones they are.
Oh, also I want to talk about how
never mind.
I kind of want to talk about the collecting aspects, the difference between Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, go for it.
The third reference between that and Super Mario, because I was thinking like I like collecting things in Super Mario 64, but I liked it way more in Banjo-Kazooie. And I think that's because Banjo-Kazooie has the
feathers, right? And the puzzle pieces?
It's not about that. It's basically about the disappearing aspect of collectibles, where in Banjo-Kazooie, when you pick up a collectible, it will never show up again. Super Mario 64, you pick up a collectible, and then like it can show up again if you want, you know? Like, if you collect 100 coins, you're still going to go in, and all the coins are going to be there, you know? Or like the stars, you'll have to do specific things, but like the outline of them will always be
the invisible ones,
yeah. And also, like, every time you jump into it, it might be for a different thing, you know? You can still generally do everything in the same course, but like, you will jump into different states to do things. And like, that is like, it just wasn't what I wanted to do, you know? Because, like, I liked the idea. I think I would have probably tried 100% it more if I picked up a coin and it disappeared forever, you know? Because then I like cleaning things up.
When you found one, you
go,
oh, shit,
yeah, exactly.
That, yeah.
And it adds to a total. And it's just like, I like cleaning things up so, like, every time I come in. Because then I would just keep coming back and trying to, like, work on it, you know, work on the level. Because that's how it works in Banjo-Kazooie. It's like you show up in a level, you do as much as you can, and then, like, you can come back and kind of, like, finish up the loose ends that you want to do. Like, every time you jump into a Mario course, it's generally going to be the way you left it.
Like reset.
Yeah, it's like reset. Which, like, I get it. it didn't really grab me as, like, it didn't grab that Skinner box collectible thing that's, like, going off of my mind. It's just like, man, I really just want to, like, I want to pick up a coin and never see it again. Yeah. It's my coin.
Put it in my fucking pocket.
Yeah, it's my coin. You know? So that was something, but like it didn't become like a huge problem for me because I actually, before I played Super Mario 64, I played a Hat in Time, which is like apparently
it's basically
it's
Mario,
a lot like that. And then when I played that game, I found that aspect very annoying. I was just like, I hate how like there's different like feelings, like not different like versions of these courses, you know, like I hated that. I was just like, oh, why do I have to go? I want to like explore this land and then like clean it out. I don't want to have to keep coming back to do specific things.
Yeah, definitely.
So that part isn't really for me, but like I didn't mind it that much. You know? But I have to say, like, I like the way Banjo-Kazooie does it more. And if you know of games, audience, that do that, because I haven't played a lot of platformers, but I want to play more that like do that, like you collect it and it never comes back again.
Yeah.
Tell me. If it's Gex, I'll do it.
If it's Gex, I'll do it.
With a frown. What did you... Do you want to go through the courses?
Yeah, so I guess we'll just go through the courses. It's hard to remember all of them top of my head. It's actually been a long time since I've played
I'll give you a
64.
refresher.
But I have a full list written down. And I know some of them off the top of my head, but sorry in advance if I confuse some, if I mix some of them. But I know this one for sure.
Green Hill Zone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bomb Battlefield.
Yes.
So, dislike.
I like that one. I like when you come down and like you find the two. I thought those two bombs in the beginning were always enemies. I didn't realize you could talk to them.
Yeah.
You can. I like how for some reason it's like the smallest thing when they tap their feet. It almost seems like they're tapping into the music when you come down. I'm like, this is cool. And then like you kind of have like a straight way to go up throughout that level that kind of corkscrews through the thing. And it's like not that hard to go up. And you finally like hit the top and you have to fight the big guy. You know.
There's a warp in that level.
Yeah,
in one of the divots.
Yeah,
if you sit in the corner, it like warps you to somewhere.
Yeah,
there's a lot of those all through the game.
I thought like my game glitched out when that happened to me the first time.
Like, what did Mario got evaporated?
What did I do? Came through as a wrong Mario. That's how Luigi got created.
Yeah.
Oh. We have to kill that fucker.
He's dead.
Yeah, that one was cool.
The year of Luigi's over.
Yeah. I thought it was a very good introduction because it felt like the original games, you know.
It's a very good intro stage.
Yeah.
I think they did that level very well. Mm-hmm. There's it teaches you a lot very fast. Because the first thing you see is the bombs that you can talk to, and there's that plate, the cannon plate, that's like, oh, this looks like this opens.
Yeah. And also, sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you.
No, go for it.
Talking to people is hard.
Yeah.
you
try to run around.
I punched so many toads.
Yeah.
Trying to talk to them. It's like you have to stop them. Mario, and then they get to like talk to them, and every time I was like, I know I'm pressing the talk button. Yeah. I just have to like wait a second, let Mario cool down, let his head refresh, and then I could talk. Go ahead.
I thought they did that level very well.
Yeah.
Because the first thing you see as you run up is the ramp.
Yeah.
And directly to the right is the first box. Mm. The first box that's grayed out. It's the wing cap.
Yeah.
And you can't use it obviously the first time you go through the level. So you're like, what the fuck is that thing? And they have coins under that bridge right there. Mm-hmm. But on the left side of it, they have the rotating platforms. Like, okay, there's moving platforms and they can do dynamic things. Mm-hmm. Then there's the giant chain chomp, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And it kicks your ass.
Yeah.
When you try to run past it, and you can get the star behind the gate.
I did not know that. I always saw that star and I was confused.
Yeah, you the butt stomp,
ground,
ground pound the peg.
Yep.
And then there's if you go to the right side, there's another cannon with all those slippery rocks. So you learn that you can slide down things, but also jump up them.
Yeah.
Then there's the leaning bridge.
Yeah.
As past the chain chomp, with a big open field of bombs and bubbles and all sorts of bouncing bubble crazy shenanigans.
That was annoying. Yeah.
I like the fucking crazy like wipeout balls that you're running up the hill.
Funny. Yeah.
That's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then the King Bomb fight is interesting because it trains you for the Bowser fights.
Yeah, and it feels like those first levels have bosses at the end of them, and then like that kind of peters out. You don't really fight bosses anymore.
No, you fight little enemies.
Yeah.
I think every level had some sort of quote unquote.
The bosses got smaller. Like the beginning bosses would talk to you.
Yeah.
And then like the later bosses would be just like go fight this bigger version of an enemy.
Yeah. The giant thwomp, the giant bomb. But I think that level is really well made.
Yeah, it's good.
So after that is Whomp's Fortress.
That was cool. That was the first time I was realizing like, oh, you can use different momentum things to skip large parts of the course. Yeah. Like I was able to do the backflip to get like past this whole annoying section.
And I think that's the first spot that has a pole that you can climb up as well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, you can shimmy up the poles, and also is the first time you can sidle against a wall.
Yeah, because you have to also move slowly against
the piranhas.
Yeah,
the sleeping piranha planes. Yeah, and they teach they show you the thwomps, and they show you, and that's also really where they show you the ground pound. But you can learn it in the first level too.
Yeah, and then also when you get to the top, there's like it tells you a star. You need to break something down with the fucking like that. It's like the only time you see a bullet bill, right? In that level at the top, there's a bullet bill that shoots out just randomly in the corner.
Oh, there's like a little rotating platform.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a mini castle.
Yeah.
And it rotates. There's a bullet bill like follow you.
Yeah. Like there's a thing that shoots out bullet bills. That's so weird. It's like, why is it there?
Yeah.
It's like the only place.
Just that it'd be annoying.
Yeah.
So I'm just going in order of the course numbers.
Yeah.
So 3 would be Jolly Roger Bay.
Yeah. That one was cool. That was when I started that one, I was like confused. So it's just like, oh, I feel like, because when I had to do, my biggest issue was getting into that. How do you get the eel to leave its place? Because I would just like get hurt by it, swim up, swim down, and he was gone.
I honestly don't remember.
I can't remember either.
Yeah,
but
there was a way to do it. I don't know if it's with Metal Mario.
Okay. It wasn't. Like I realized when you swim...
I think you just swim to it. I don't think it's even on the ground, right?
When you swim...
It's in the ship.
Yeah, when you swim into the ship, you don't need the metal. I thought you did because I saw like the path. Like it looked like you had to become metal and jump on stuff. But then I realized like, well, when you're metal, you're not even gonna have enough time to get in there to get to the path. Because I thought you'd have to. Because if you're on the ground, then you could ground pound the block, get your star. Mm-hmm. And then I realized like, oh, you need to open the chest in a specific order. Mm-hmm. That's like what I didn't know, and I was just like, oh.
I think there's a way to get them out. I just off the top of my head, I honestly don't remember. But yeah, so for people listening, Jolly Roger Bay is the one with the sunken ship. Mm-hmm. With the giant eel. I think the second... Yeah, I'm actually even looking at the star list. The second mission there, the star is, can the eel come out and play?
Yeah, exactly. Because it has a star on its leg. I mean, its tail.
On its tail, right? Yeah.
That was cool. I like that one.
Music's really
aesthetic, good. Good everything was cool. That was the first one I 100%ed. Got all the stars.
Got all the stars, yeah. So 4 would be Cool Mountain.
Oh, God. That one was so hard.
Yeah.
That was just like... Mario's a slippery ass dude, and then just like more slippery.
So that's the one with the baby penguins.
Yeah.
And there is a snowman you can roll up to get him as well.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
And there is a couple warp spots in that one too, actually. After where the big penguin is at the bottom, there's like a broken bridge.
Yeah.
And if you stand right at the tip of the bridge, it warps you.
Went there a lot.
And I think that's where one of the red coins are too.
Yeah.
But if like all the way at the edge, like basically falling off, it like warps you. It's weird how you remember little things, but that's like the snowman race, and if you jump really far down, you get caught in the snow and you pop yourself out.
Yeah.
There's that bridge with the 2 hopping snowmen.
Yeah.
Are the most goddamn annoying thing in the world. Tough. As a kid, that was like I would like not play those missions just so I didn't have to deal with those 2 snowmen.
I didn't play that Cool Mountain at all.
And then there's a really hard jump with that broken bridge.
Yeah.
It's super thin.
Yeah. That one was tough.
So that's Cool Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people watching on the YouTube version of this podcast, hopefully there'll be pictures up.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Yeah, we'll have a...
So course 5 is Big Boo's Haunt.
Yeah, that one was cool.
I really like that.
I started that one and I was confused like for the longest time because I started it and I was like, I'm not finding any fucking stars. And then I realized you have to kill them all and it like raises the
go to ghost hunt. Yeah,
and that's like when the game really starts.
Yeah, I
was like, oh okay.
And then the merry-go-round and the books and the
that one's really cool.
Okay, so
wait, how do you get to the second? How do you get to the balcony?
The balcony all the way up top.
I never could.
Second floor, you beat Big Boo and it brings up the stairs, and then. How do you get to the balcony?
Because I saw I've
been on the balcony. I've been on the roof.
There's a room with a stage and there's like a bookcase. And then I saw like, hey, there's a door to get up to the balcony. But I can't, like when I do the long jumps, I'm like barely almost making it. But like I'm not. Yeah, I have no idea.
I honestly don't remember.
A video of doing it right here shows us the speedrun method. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Course 6 is the Hazy Maze Cave.
Yeah, I didn't really like that one. That one was like, it was just too much. I liked going, I thought like going to find the big sea monster thing was cool because it was like, it takes you down an elevator and then you have like...
It's basically a Lapras from
exactly.
Pokemon.
And then you have like this huge area where like the sea monster is like being dopey and swimming around. Mm-hmm. But like the other parts of it, like the toxic stuff and like climbing all around and like, it was like, I don't like being entrapped in an area.
Yeah, it's very tight.
Yeah.
Cool. So 7 would be Lethal Lava Land. Which you did like.
The first time I played that, I thought that was impossible. That was like so hard because I kept on falling into the freaking fire and I was burning my butt.
Burn your ass and go back up and fall back in.
Exactly, and I couldn't control Mario and stuff like that. But then like I slowly realized like I was able to beat like most of the challenges because the challenges aren't that hard. It's the environment that's hard.
It's a bunch of kind of tricky jumps. It's just super lethal.
Yeah, exactly.
But also once you get the Koopa shell, it becomes super easy.
I did not find the Koopa shell in that one.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
It's like right in the beginning.
Oh, maybe I missed it. Maybe I just didn't jump because I thought it was coins or something. But
it's a yellow block.
Okay, yeah.
There's a Koopa shell in it. You surf over the lava.
Because I found those in other levels, but that was like the first one. That's the second one that I 100%ed and that was like a hard one for me. And then at that moment, I was just like, if I could 100% this, then I could probably 100% others.
I think the first missions in that one, it's the bullies. Right? Yeah, where you punch you have
to fight the big one, and then you have to fight multiple
of the small ones. Yeah, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're called bullies, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullies.
And then you have to go into the fucking volcano, and then you have to take like the elevator to get.
Yeah.
That
thing's annoying.
Yeah, because like that's when the camera. It's just like, oh, I'm jumping onto the pole. No, I'm not into the phone.
Yeah.
It's just like.
And then you miss and you land on something. I gotta hold fucking back up.
Yeah. It's so annoying.
So course 8, your favorite is Shifting Sandland.
Fuck off that Egypt level. The inside of the pyramid is cool. I like that, but like the outside area, just everything was tearing me a new one. That was annoying.
So 9 is Dire Dire Ducks, which probably has the most famous song. One of the more famous songs.
I thought that one was.
Go listen to that song if you haven't heard that song.
Here's the song right now. Very fast. Whoa, that was great.
Yeah.
But I thought that one was the most hated, but probably not. I'm probably thinking.
The music is great.
Yeah.
I don't know how people feel about the level.
Yeah, because I remember always hearing about
the level is hard.
But then I also might be thinking, because they have Banjo-Kazooie has Rusty Bucket Bay, which is also like a dock level, which is really hard. So like I might be thinking of that too, but I didn't find that level too hard.
It's not overly difficult. I mean, none of them are really overly difficult. They have like they trap you.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Into positions where you're like, I'm fucked.
Yeah. The level was kind of like lame, but I still like the gameplay of it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool.
So 10 is Snowman's Land, which is the one with the giant snowman.
Yeah, that one was okay. That one was just like another snow level, and I didn't like the snow levels. And then like that one had like. First, they had that canal which pushes you with the wind, which is just like annoying. Yeah, it's just like, why is this here?
Like the snow waves,
yeah,
basically.
Exactly. And then you have to go to the thing with the snow waves, right? To jump, and you have to do like a triple jump, and it's just like you feel like you're doing triple jumps, but then like I would never want to run all the way back to do the triple jump again, so I just keep trying to do triple jumps until Mario randomly grabbed on.
Yeah. And
then I would like climb up the thing, and then I would jump on the penguin's head, and then I think I would think that I've made it clear, and then Mario jumps and he gets pushed away, and it's just like. A lot of stuff like that pissed me off.
Yeah.
But I almost 100% that one.
And that was the one with the weird, like, ice cube puzzle.
Yeah.
Where you, like, just jump in it.
Yeah.
But, like, it's super easy. You just jump up on top and, like, drops on the star.
Yeah.
Then 11 is Wet Dry World.
Yeah, I like that one, too. I thought that one was really interesting and cool. Except I couldn't figure out how to get to... I couldn't find I found, like, the cannon, but I couldn't find the guy to talk to. I was looking for him.
That was the one... I believe Wet Dry World... I keep saying Wet Dry Land. It's Wet Dry World. That is the one with there's like a hidden town.
There's like,
underwater. It's like a weird it looks like a miniaturized town.
I never got to anything underwater because I saw that there was a thing that you can go down, but like I could never find a way because I assume you have to shoot a cannon to get in there. But like I could never find the person to talk to unlock the cannon. There's
I think one of the I'm looking at the star list. Yeah, go to town for red coins.
Yeah.
It's basically like a miniature city. Like miniature, but like the size of you, but like underwater.
Okay.
And I think you can make it all dry, but like there's like a really difficult like red coin thing in there. If I remember correctly when I was a kid.
I wish I saw that.
Oh, there's a race down there too, I think.
Really? God, I messed something up there. I missed something.
12 is Tall Mountain.
Yeah, that one was cool. That was
the one you said was very placeholder, right?
Yeah, that one also. I mean, like that one's just
that's the mushrooms.
Yeah, there's like 2 mushrooms or like a couple mushrooms.
Shit ton of mushrooms.
And there's like the monkey in it, and then you have to.
Fuck the monkey.
You have to go on that roller thing while the shy guy's shooting fire at you, and it's just like this is impossible.
That's when you climb up the vines.
Yeah, I managed to 5-star that one. How do you climb up the vines?
I think you just climb up them.
Because I tried pressing buttons and I couldn't work. But they have platforms next to them. That's why I thought like, oh, maybe you have to jump on the platforms.
Well, I know some of them you like monkey bar it.
Okay.
And some of them you can just climb up, I think.
Maybe I'm crazy.
13 is Tiny Huge Island.
I barely played that one.
Yeah. There's 2 paintings and...
Yeah. I thought that one was really cool. But, like, I got super... Like, it was just annoying because, like, the first part you have to do, like, 2 long jumps to get, like, when you're big or tiny, I forget. I think it's when you're big. They do 2 long jumps to get, like, to the... to start the level, and I could never make the second one because then they have a thing that makes you catch on fire. And like you would just jump in the water. I'm just like, I'm gonna collect stars somewhere else.
14 is TikTok Clock.
That one's really cool.
TikTok Clock's really cool.
Yeah, very tall. I never got to the top of that fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a big. I fucking hate this next one, the Rainbow Ride.
That one was. I thought that one was like one of the coolest levels.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
but it can get hard.
Yeah, it was like it felt like definitely like a super challenging one. And there was like, there were so many moments where like I'm gonna go get a star and like Mario slips somewhere or like the camera's in the wrong position, so he's jumping off,
Mm-hmm.
I still like the idea of it being
that's like the real insta-death level.
That's like the level where it's like there's a bunch of little obstacle courses, like go do them and then get a star,
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. And then like that was like another level where I'm like, I have to fucking sit on a carpet just to start this level. I have to go through this whole thing, but then like turn my camera on so I could jump onto the pole. Like that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So there's really only 15 levels. There's all the secret ones, like the aquarium and the
that
slide.
Cool. Yeah.
I would say. What would you say is your favorite out of those
levels?
Yeah.
My favorite gameplay, like to control, was like the water levels, and then like favorite aesthetically, was the hunt. Least favorite was the Egypt one.
Yeah, so that's most of the levels. I mean, it's easy to go through it because it is just so easily split up into those things.
Mm-hmm.
There was one I was going to talk about, but I honestly don't remember off the top of my head, so I apologize.
Not many Koopas in this game.
No, not at all.
It was like
I remember what I was going to say. I really enjoy all the mini levels leading up to Bowser.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are really, really cool, especially the first one.
Yeah.
I just really like the switch with the giant staircase. Like, I just like for whatever reason, like, in my mind, I will never forget those, like, turquoise tiles.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just, like, forever when I see them, I'm like, yeah, that's Super Mario 64.
It's like super obstacle courses before you have to go, like, fight.
And they're fun. They're cool, and they
Yeah.
show off new enemies, and they show off those little fire dudes.
Because when I was doing the final boss, the run up to that is tough.
It's crazy.
It's crazy tough, but, like...
It's cool.
It's really cool. The music's good, and then, like, I lost... the first time I was fighting Bowser, like, I lost all my lives, so I had to do that run again. But I was, like, so in the zone that I did it, like, my first try with, like, 0 health loss.
It feels good when you beat it.
Because it was just like, oh, fuck, I just want to get to the boss. Boom, 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 boom. And I did, like, everything correctly. I'm like, wow, I don't know how I did that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go back and, like, I need to beat Bowser now. Which, I beat Bowser with, like, my family watching and stuff because they were wondering why I was shouting so much. So everyone was cheering for me to just... I never figured out how to fucking throw Bowser correctly. I was always throwing him the wrong way. And I was just like, please just let it be in a bomb, I died so many times. God, that last boss. And you only hit him, like, 3 times. Like, you just got to throw him in the bombs 3 times. But
Rule of 3.
Yeah, which is weird because you fight him 2 times where you just need to throw him into 1. Like, why don't they make you fight him?
Don't they go 1, 2, 3?
The second one, I only remember throwing him into 1.
Huh.
Thing.
I mean, like I said, it's been such a long time since I
Yeah.
played. It's hard to remember.
Maybe
exactly.
get it right next time, Talon.
It's hard to remember how many times you have to hit a boss
Yeah.
in a game that came out in 96.
But it's a Nintendo game, so typically it's 3.
Yeah, it's rule of 3 generally.
Yeah.
Sometimes 4 in Zelda.
Whoa, what?
I know.
Oh.
Breaking up.
Jeez.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. Anything else you want to ask?
Do you want to give a score? No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Nostalgia score? I don't know.
Nostalgia?
Yeah, like nostalgia. So did we call it nostalgia when we started?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you got nostalgia. I've got nostalgia.
Yeah.
Talon, ISO that. Put it at the front.
ISO.
Well, that's how we started. Hey, I'm Adam. I got nostalgia, man.
So I think the last thing I want to, and we went over this, but I think it's just a good way to end this. Knowing all you know about the game now, and all you heard about it your entire life, and about the game, in your opinion, does it deserve all the love / hate it receives?
Yeah, it and the podcast now.
No.
It does deserve all the love because as much as I complained about the issues that I had with it, it was like it's the first to do it. So it's just like all the things that it did when it came out was very impressive, and it should not lose that quality.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. It's just like now when I look back, like the game shouldn't be bad because I didn't like it because of the camera. It's like they were doing the best that they could at that moment. And like it's revolutionary when you played it.
Yeah. And a lot of the things I hear, especially about N64 games, is like how horrible it looks. Like, oh, it's so blocky.
And, but it's like
and being someone who plays a lot of that old stuff, it never really bothers me. But a lot of people do really look at graphics. But you think it?
Yeah, it looked fun. I mean, like
maybe not just the look.
It looked
like as a whole.
It looked barren, but like I didn't say like, oh, they should have made it look better because I understand the constraints of the time, and stuff like that. And like also like, did it look good for the time? I think like absolutely, it
probably.
Fine,
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like for being one of the earlier, because it was one of the launch games on the N64, I assume.
I know it came bundled with the system a lot. I
Okay.
want to say it was one of the launch titles.
Because if it came out around like, because I saw Banjo-Kazooie came out like 3 years or 2 years after, like. I like Banjo-Kazooie more than this game because I feel
but
like
it learned.
Yeah. I feel like it
had time to learn.
Developed like everything. Like it fixed all the criticisms that I had with Super Mario 64. Like Banjo-Kazooie just does that in space and does it like way better.
Yeah.
Like all the levels feel like filled with character. You know,
definitely.
like the characters taught. You can read the text. I enjoy.
I don't know what you mean. Yeah.
I enjoy like the characters and the platforming and stuff. Like the platforming in Banjo-Kazooie is like the way I like to handle it, and also like the collecting matter in that is cool. But like that came years later, you know. The time when Super Mario 64 came out, I think it did what it was trying to do very well and like impressed a lot of people. So it's just like I wouldn't go up to someone who really liked this game as a kid and be like, ugh, the camera was horrible, because like it wasn't horrible to them, and now they get older, like they know that, you know. It's like it's understandable, but you know. It's not like I'd go up to someone and say like Citizen Kane was bad because it had no color. You know? It's just like, it's not like.
But it was.
Yeah. It's like that's not like fair, you know, to the game like thing. It's also like, well, that's a bad comparison because Citizen Kane wasn't trying to do anything with color. But like it's like
Rosebud.
How did no one heard him say it when he was fucking? How would they know? No, I think it deserves all the praise, and it was a great game that I played like later on in my life, and like even now I will make a Citizen Kane comparison right now and say that like when I like I watch Citizen Kane now and I really enjoy it, but I probably don't love it as much as I would have if I had seen it earlier. Not when it would come out, but like maybe like
when you were
10, 20 years, like 20 years like later after it came out or something like that. It's like it's all like I think your enjoyment would be based on the context of when you played it, you know.
Totally.
Super Mario 64, if you played it as a kid, you would have fucking loved it, you know. For me, as I played it older, I respect it a lot, you know. I don't love it as much as I thought I would.
You could have.
Yeah, I could have, exactly. If I played this game as a kid like you, I would have loved the fuck out of it, you know, and I would have gotten all those
colorful,
stars.
It's fun.
Exactly. It would have hit that itch for me, exactly. And maybe I wouldn't even like Banjo-Kazooie because it would have been too opposed to what I had known from Super Mario 64. But yeah, I think it's deserving. What hate does it get? That's my question.
Just because because it was the first, and and this isn't from anyone in particular, and it's just things you can find anyway. It looks terrible. The controls are shitty. And a lot of that really is just the technology wasn't. Nobody had done it. Yeah. And like you said, Banjo-Kazooie fixed it because people had gotten used to how the N64 works. Yeah. And it was kind of like the same thing with PlayStation 1 and everybody. It's just a matter of figuring stuff out. So maybe not hate, but just like
issues, criticisms.
Yeah.
So I'd say I'd probably agree with all of those.
But I think you went over most of it.
Yeah.
So this is our first podcast, and I think we didn't really talk about what we'd be going over a whole lot. I think we hit some really good points though. Yeah. But I think the final question I want to ask you, just to end us off, and it doesn't. I don't feel like I want to give a score or anything. I don't think that's fair. Yeah. I think the thing I want to ask you is now in 2018. Yeah. If someone has a chance and they'd be willing to try it, do you think Super Mario 64 is worth to play?
Yes, with an asterisk.
With an asterisk. Okay.
I would say, because you can get these games on Virtual Console, right?
Yeah. So maybe not necessarily playing on the original console. I'm making you do it just for like sake of nostalgia.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did.
But if you have the chance to play a game to see what it's all about and why it changed gaming,
yeah, I think.
Do you think Super Mario 64 is worth doing?
Absolutely, because I think it's part of like game history. Yeah. I don't think you can go anywhere without seeing Super Mario 64 being on like top games of all time list or something like that. I think it's like worth it if you enjoy platformers a lot, or you just want to see like how games evolve into the 3D space.
How Mario started off in the 3D.
Yeah. Like it's definitely like important to you. If you have a respect for games, you should definitely play this game. I feel like a lot of people have, But if you're like me and have like barely tried platformers, I think you should play this game. Doing it on the original system is like way too hard to do, especially these days. You know, like,
Sorry.
If you have a friend who like has all that stuff, then
Me.
like take it from them. But if not, like even if even if that is the opportunity, I don't know if they fix it on the Virtual Console if you use the thumbsticks for.
I actually don't
camera.
know that either.
If they do, I think that's the way you should play it.
I'd probably say they probably didn't.
Yeah.
But they could have.
Even if they didn't, just play like an updated version.
with a different controller.
Yeah, like,
something comfortable.
Exactly, with a different controller, like that's probably like the best way to play it. And then like just have that thought in mind. It's like, well, this is the first time they ever tried this stuff. You know, just realize that.
Keep an open mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's not going to be as crazy and amazing as it was for some people who were like younger and played for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you know, it's interesting to see where these things came from. You know. So yeah, definitely try it on like
the Virtual Console,
some like Virtual Console or
Wii
some updated
U.
version of this. You know, you can find a torrent.
I'm not saying dolphin it, but you could.
Yeah, you could
or something.
Here's a link.
Yeah, links in the description.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely try this game. It was
awesome.
It was great. It's a little gem that we found. Never heard of it before.
Yeah, Super Mario 64.
Mario is his name.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna last. Yeah, but we'll see.
But Sonic, oh boy.
Oh boy. You see his
Bubsy?
first venture into the 3D world? That'll blow your fucking mind, man. He runs away from an orca.
So I think that's it.
Yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
No,
God damn it. Yeah.
7 Stalgias out of 10.
Seven power stars.
My Stalgia meter is at about an 8.5 on this one, guys.
Seven power stars out of 10.
If you want to debate me, here's my number.
No, don't put my number. 555.
Yeah.
5555.
Adam's phone.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was No-Stalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to anyone who listened to us ramble. Please leave any notes, what you guys think we should probably go over. Anything you like us how to format it differently. If you just like hearing us talk, I don't blame you. No, okay. I would say you're a freak.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Woo.
But if you guys have any suggestions, please, for quote unquote classic games, we're looking for stuff. So Adam, like you said, didn't play NES, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, N64.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna try and stick more around N64, PS1.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, Adam has played basically every Sonic game, so keep that out.
Hell yeah.
And he's played a lot of the old Resident Evils, but I would say maybe put games on the list that maybe have changed gaming history, or a lot of people have a lot of positive or even, I guess, negative memories of.
Sure.
And we'll try and get to it, but any suggestion would be great. And if you guys have any comments, anything, always feel free. We always love talking to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But really, thank you. I know we don't say this a lot, but when we do, we appreciate you guys, even the small amount of you guys listening. It means a lot to us because we really love making this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a podcast was always a fun thing to do.
And here we are doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
So that you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. All right, kids.
We just like making shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I say that constantly. I think I've said it in every video. We just like making fun stuff.
Yeah.
And
we mean that in like a literal sense because it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
No.
It's literal shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. Super Mario 64, baby. Try it out.
Yep.
Load it up. Pop it in your Virtual Console. Try it out.
Turn on your PSX.
Also, if I get an inkling for an old game that I really want to play, maybe I'll try that too, and we can talk about it.
Yeah.
See if you played it, because there's some games that I want to do. Heck yeah, man! No-Stalgia. Yeah, that's it.
That was the first episode of No-Stalgia.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We're gonna end out on a song. This is a song playing right now. I don't know what you're gonna choose. Probably something Mario related. And then like our voice is gonna fade out. So let's keep conversation talking. You know, went to IHOP today. What'd you order? We had something really good.
Pancakes.
Woo! Pancakes. This guy loves pancakes. Okay, now it's gonna be very quiet. You aren't gonna hear what I'm saying. This is a thing now. And then boom. See, at that point right there, you're gonna have us. Still, I want you to still fade out. I said when you hear this bit, it's our fade